Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Apocalypse Soon. And now, your host, Eddie Pepitone.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Apocalypse Soon. It's a beautiful day for a podcast. I'll tell you that right now. We got the Pepitones versus the Tinkins here. Beautiful, beautiful day. Both of them are tied for first place, and this crowd is ready to go to hear a podcast about the end of civilization. They're here to hear a podcast about the end of civilization, about the fact that this podcast has no upside, and that there is no hope. No hope in the world. If you have children, get them ready for death. And that's right. This crowd is fired up. Hot dogs, peanuts. Boy, I like that character, actually. Hello, everybody. Welcome. We are in the studio. Can you believe it? We are in the studio. Me and Kevin have been out and about in the bowels, I would say, of Los Angeles. Parking lots, Starbucks parking lots, just a parking lot of a horrific diner. Just out and about, and it feels good to be back in the studio, even though we both like being among the people who won't shut the fuck up when we're out there. Mm-hmm. And good to be back. And since we are back in the studio, guess who is in the studio? It's Bobby of the Mephistophelians.
Hey! Oh my God, I've missed you. Oh, my heart leaps. Every time I hear you coming back, I go, I seen you in the parking lot. And I go, how come Bobby's not in the parking lot?
I was wondering the same thing. And I know your heart leaps because you have that fibrillation from long COVID.
Yep.
You've gotten COVID now 8 times, yeah? You're anti-vax, which everybody knows.
Supposedly, but I have my antibodies, I hear, are through the roof now, and I'm feeling good.
Well, I hope your antibodies are better than your body, because and that's no offense, Bob, but to look at that skin bag, a lot of people call bodies skin bags.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I got the big bag. They call me the duffel bag. I'm a half-full duffel bag full of old clothes. Some people have called me
a full duffel bag of old clothes. All right.
They call me the beanbag chat sometimes. I was born without a sternum, so all my skin comes in on each other.
I remember the day you were born, and because that was a news item. It was a great news item. Man born without sternum, first ever.
Yeah. Big news.
And it turns out your mom had donated the sternum to the Sternum Foundation of America.
She's a real bleeding heart,
She's a bleeding heart.
She goes, my baby, he ain't gonna need
He ain't gonna need no sternum.
Gave my brother his ribs to the Salvation Army. They didn't even need them.
Oh, yeah, and that's great because ribs were originally given away to the other half of our gender. Adam gave Eve the rib, right?
Evil women. Yeah, they always taking ribs.
All right, let's not
talking to snakes, handing around apples.
Yeah, but you know what? You get in trouble now for saying women are evil.
Oh yeah, I love women. They're the best. They're great. You're right. I apologize. I shouldn't have said anything.
All right, we covered that base, huh? We covered, but it's great, Bobby, to see you, and I know you've been doing well. Oh, I got Alex calling me. I got my manager calling me.
Oh my God.
I'll have to text him saying we're on the podcast, or just quickly. Hey, Al, we're on the podcast.
Oh.
Is it important?
Yes, very. No, I'm kidding. Just call me after.
What's that?
Call me after.
Okay, I'll call you after. Bye.
You're in the Scorsese film.
What's that?
I said you're in the Scorsese film.
All right, man. Bye. All right, it turns out, folks, I'm in the next Scorsese film.
Wow.
Yes, I am going to play a mook, a guy. I just look like, one of those guys like, hey. And I don't know why I was never in The Sopranos.
I agree.
Let's get
100%.
our producer in, Kevin Tinkin.
Take care, Eddie. It's been nice talking.
Yeah, Bobby, thanks a lot, you fucking no sternum fuck.
Yeah,
Kev, hey.
You would have been great in The Sopranos.
Yeah, but don't I look like one of those guys? Like, let me tell you something, boss. I don't trust Arnie.
Yeah, you'd be very suspicious.
I don't trust Arnie. I feel like Arnie's full of shit.
You can't trust a man who won't smoke a cigarette.
Boss. Yeah. Then there's that high-pitched voice like, boss, I think Arnie's screwing us, boss. He's just a toady.
He's been taking money out of the bada bing for the last 2 years, boss.
Well, I wonder if I could play the boss. Like, let me tell you something. If you motherfuckers, if you don't get your act together, nobody gets meatballs.
See, that's now you're playing with fire.
You know.
The no meatball boss. He's dangerous. I'm actually really curious as to what Alex was calling you about now.
Me too.
I'm like,
me too. But I said to him, and sorry, folks, I interrupted the podcast call from my manager. Is Eddie, is he a man of the people, or is he just a careerist ladder climber? I'm sure you're asking. And the answer is both.
yeah.
The answer is both. I would love to really get some big things so I don't have to worry about money anymore. I've been worrying about money a lot lately.
Really?
Yeah.
What is that new? Is
That's kind of new. Yeah.
Yeah?
I don't know. It's been a struggle lately. I had to cancel 6 shows on the road, which hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. But you know how it's cyclical money, right? Especially in the arts.
Absolutely. Yeah, you get something big and you're like, I'm on top of the world. I got all the money, and you want to buy it, and then you don't get it work for another 3 months. And you're
things like
out.
that, and also the cost of living in Los Angeles is insane. Housing, food. It's
the Starbucks alone.
Starbucks alone
is very pricey.
Man, and I was telling Kevin, we met here today at 1, and I woke up in my bed at 12:20. Luckily, I'm close to the studio.
Yeah.
But I really had I had some sleep to catch up on.
Yeah. You had the COVID twice.
I had COVID twice, which is actually weighing on my mind.
Yeah.
Because my energy has not been that good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, give it some time. It should be all right.
I wish I could give it time. I wish I could give it time. I wish I could take a month off.
Yeah.
And just lay in a room.
Yeah.
With sound baths. Do you know what a sound bath is?
Oh yeah.
The way you say it, I don't think you know. It's just someone who does all kinds of sounds around you while you're getting a hand job. No, I'm kidding.
That would be a sound job. Just put a subwoofer.
A sound job.
Give me a sound job. I just sit on the bass boost.
No, it's just getting bathed in sound.
That sounds good. That sounds very good.
Usually it's singing bowls. Have you heard what a singing bowl is?
I haven't. No.
You don't know what a singing bowl is?
Is it? I mean, I'm assuming it's it's a bowl.
Good.
I'm assuming.
Go on.
It makes sound. I'm doubling down.
It's usually done. I believe it's done. It's an Eastern tradition. Buddhist monks. They like have is sort of like it looks like almost a fucking drumstick or pad that they rub on the edge of the bowl.
Yeah.
They go around the circumference of the bowl, and it makes a really beautiful sound. And I remember, I'm the type of guy who and I don't know if you're like this, but if someone says, "Oh, you have to do sound baths," that will relax you, and I get very excited that, here's going to be a cure for my anxiety, and the sound baths don't do it from like at first they do, and then it's like, I still have to deal with the fact that I was molested by 6 uncles in a pizzeria.
Big family. Well, that's
big family. That's not true, by the way. I've never had to have that kind of thing. That's horrible. I don't know how people get through that like yourself.
My uncles,
your uncles are just hands-on. They're hands-on people,
and they're very, they're very affectionate. and back.
That's a word for it, I guess.
Yeah. But it depends on the receiver. That's what I've always said. I was hard to molest as a kid. A lot of people would say that.
All right. I just feel like we're going into territory that is delicate.
Yes.
We don't want to do that. But what has been going on with you, man? So I'm still like getting my energy back, and I have to go on the road. And I'm like I said, I really do feel better after sleeping.
Yeah.
How much I slept.
Yeah. It's good to get a good night's sleep. Yeah, yesterday I went up. I had to do ADR for this project. My buddy I told you about. We shot it like 5 years ago, and so we
Sounds
drove.
like an LA project to me.
Yeah.
At least one that doesn't have money behind it.
100%. That's the only type of project.
Independent project. Yeah.
I don't do it for the money, and I'll turn down money. I said no, thank you. No, thank you.
No, thank you. I prefer not to eat.
Yeah, I like to do it for the passion of it, But we were up in the hills, and it was very odd because I'm literally just screaming in the hills of Tahunga.
Were you doing that yesterday?
Yeah. And he's got the
Tahunga. That's about an hour away, isn't it?
It's about 25 minutes from here. Yeah, but we're up in the Angeles National Forest, and so we went up there just so we could scream at
no
full
fires
volume.
going on.
No fires going on right now. Although it was kind of like apropos that I drove by there was a car on fire on the way here.
Is that right?
Yeah. It was a nice car. It was an Audi. And it was on fire.
It was a nice car.
Yes.
It was. A lot of people are torching their cars for the insurance these days.
Oh, yeah. What do you call that? What do they call that something?
They call it arson.
Arson, that's right. That's right.
Hey, Margaret. What, Al? I'm going to torch the car for insurance. Al, you don't have to do that. Why not? We need the dough, Maggie. Al, why are you talking like that? Look, I have a beautiful rag and I want to use it. Al, you can use rags to wipe things down and they'll last. Because when you soak them in gasoline and throw them in a car, then the rag is gone. That's a good point, Margaret. Margaret, I knew there was a reason that I was inside of Eddie Pepitone's brain with you. Al, thank you for choosing me, because I know you had a lot of choices out there, and you chose me. Margaret, I didn't have that many choices. I did have this one woman named Sylvia who wanted me, but Sylvia had only half a face. She had lost half her face in a poker game. She bet her own face? She bet half her face. How the hell did they get her face off? Don't tell me. I don't want to know, Al. I hate your gambling stories. All right, I won't tell you, but that's why I picked you, Margaret, is that I didn't have much else going on. Al, that is not very romantic or loving to say. I'm sorry, Margaret, but I took something called an honesty pill. Honesty pill? Yeah, I found it behind my soy milk today. That's your Zoloft, idiot. I always keep your Zoloft behind the soy milk. Look, Margaret, we're supposed to do this segment later in the show. Right now, it's just Pepitone talking to Tinkin. What's up with Tinkin? Did you hear that shit that he's doing ADR, which means a voiceover from 5 years ago? I mean, why do that? I mean, if something takes 5 years ago to get to, it's going to take another 5 to put that voiceover together. Tinkin's going to be an old man by the time this thing comes out. Yeah, but it doesn't matter when you get launched. Look at Pepitone. He was nothing until he was in his 40s. Oh, really? What's he? How old is he, you think? I don't know, Margaret. Look, I just want to tell you, I love you more than the heavens. Boy, I wish those were honesty pills, because then I'd believe you. Look, I like the fact that you put a skirt on and that you have a teardrop tattoo. Yeah, I want to look like a prisoner for you, Al. I'm your prisoner of love. Maggie, I don't think it matters that we're disembodied voices, We're just two crazy, disembodied voices. What are you laughing for, Al? I love when you laugh. Let's take a boat ride down a river and let's torch a car. Did you hear Tinkin talking about a car being torched? Yeah, that's how this segment started, baby. Look, I love you so much, and I just want to say, let's take a ride down a crazy river.
Eddie, come back to us.
Sorry. We got in a little Alan Margaret.
That was nice. I like to wonder where you are at those moments when Alan and Margaret are speaking.
I become them.
Yeah.
You know?
The true embodiment.
Well, yeah. I love them. I love those guys. There was even a suggestion once by a fan I have in Portland, not to brag. And he said that I should do a one-man show where I paint my face, half of it's Margaret and half of it's Al.
Oh, that'd be
and
great.
And do a one-man show like that. What do you think of that? I told him I may wind up in an institution.
Yeah. Well, doing that for an hour, you know, or you know what I mean? Like that would be. I do think that it could be good to have a one-man show where you're able to highlight your characters, you know, do the guided meditation. There's a lot of things you could do in that, but that would be fantastic. We could get you an outfit that's half of a dress and half of like a sweater or suit or something, you know?
Yeah.
And you go back and forth.
Can I just tell the audience something? I did not take my antidepressants today. Because I woke up late. And I'm only mentioning that in case I just do something erratic.
It won't get.
It doesn't bother me to not take them for up to 2 days.
Yeah. And
then day 3, I start thinking I'm the president of the United States of America.
Really?
Or Guatemala for some reason, like the head of a Guatemalan logging company or a fruit company.
Yeah.
Which it's written right on the side of Zoloft. If you do not take, they say if you don't take Zoloft for 3 days, you immediately think you are the head of a Guatemalan fruit company or logging company, written on the side of the fucking bottle. How specific is that?
That's very specific.
Isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
That's a specific, whatchamacallit, side effect.
Yeah. If I don't take my antidepressant, I think it's about 3 days, same thing.
3 days.
I will like the things that I've accepted in my life, like the filth inside of my car, I start going like, what the fuck?
Oh, I know. It's irritability.
Yeah.
Irritability comes, and it comes hard. If you've ever... what we're talking about, if you've ever been on antidepressants, which kind of, I'm now getting a little negative about them, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, I've been very happy with them. Happy is a bad word, but they're fucked up. They fucked me up sexually somewhat.
Yeah. I know that.
I mean, I have an erection of always. Like, I have an erection always. And it's not that I'm just saying hello.
Right.
It's that Commander Pepitone, which is what I call my Johnson. Commander Pepitone.
You got a little Purple Heart on him.
Well, he's been through a lot. Most of it's self-inflicted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It's not a lot of like battle, in battle stuff. It's mostly self-inflicted hand wounds. That's why he has a Purple Heart.
Yeah.
But so I have an erection all the time, and yet it's really hard to orgasm with these antidepressants, and I have to have like a team of people help me orgasm.
Oh,
like,
is that what's?
Yeah.
Is that why you had all those people over at your house the other day?
Well, I go into this one coffee shop called Get Off.
Yeah.
Get Off Coffee. And it just caters to people who are on antidepressants who have trouble orgasming. Like, I'll get a coconut latte, and then this team of people just really work me over.
Yeah. I got a 4.5-hour hand job and a cup of coffee.
4.5.
We're going to get him there today, team.
God damn. It's sort of like the head of the team is this sergeant who used to be in Nam.
Yeah.
And he's like, God damn it. And he's addressing the other troops.
Yeah.
This is a guy who won't come, and I want you to make him come, all right? It's going to be nasty, everybody, but I love the smell of sperm in the morning. It's like that Duval character.
He's got
In Apocalypse.
the hat on, and then instead of a pack of cigarettes, is a pack of like KY and his thing.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know why I got into that.
I think
it's a detour that is not helping anybody.
No, it's good. It's good. It's where this podcast needs to get on the direction of more sexuality.
Well, I think we've been doing that.
People do that
lately. And anyway, this podcast, and I've been upfront about this from the beginning, that has no upside.
Mm-hmm.
Whether we're talking about antidepressants, which is a symptom of decline.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of the country is on antidepressants, antipsychotics.
Mm-hmm.
And I went on them because I started crying in my car a lot. Do you know
Really?
that crying in your car is a lost art form? Have you ever seen people, they cry in their car, yet they're in the fast lane? When you start weeping in your car, can you move to the fucking slow lane?
100%.
Right?
Yes.
You see people, and you're like, I gotta get to the airport.
Yeah.
I gotta fly out and get to Richmond, Virginia.
And they're just bawling in the fast
And
lane.
they're fucking weeping. They've made a wrong turn in their life.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is, they wanted to be a fireman and they became an astronaut instead.
I hate that career path, It's so hard to be an astronaut, You got to get up for work every morning. It's just unfulfilling.
I think what a lot of people didn't expect about being an astronaut is a lot of people didn't expect how hard it would be to masturbate in zero gravity.
100%.
Have you ever?
100%. Jerking it in zero gravity.
Oh, not easy.
Eddie, I think we got a pretty good show today, don't we? I'm excited about where this show's going.
This was the show.
No. This ain't the show. The show's coming up.
Okay.
And I'm excited. We got a hot one today.
All right.
Because we've got no guest.
We have no guest.
Guest again. And that just means more Eddie.
Guest again. I like that, actually. And a couple of people, by the way, thank you, everybody. I want to say this. We have been getting a lot more emails, and they've been great. People really appreciating the podcast, and people with funny emails, and just it's been really nice, and more. So send your emails to where?
EddiePepPodcast@gmail.com, and then of course subscribe and go to the Patreon, and throw a couple of dollars our way, and then you'll get. We just posted that stand-up clip of yours.
Did you watch it?
I did watch it. Yeah,
What'd you think of that one?
I love you, Eddie. I can't hide
See
it.
that you could get. This was a clip from not a clip, an entire set, 16 minutes from the Comedy Store.
Mm-hmm. And then I've still got to put out the other two.
Other two parts of live from, I said on the Patreon, Lincoln, Nebraska, but it was actually from Wichita, Kansas, if you could change that.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, I fucked that up. Sorry, everybody, but it's the same shit.
We just did that for the clicks. The Lincoln, Nebraska is a very hot spot. It's a big hot comedy area, but
Lincoln, Nebraska is a great show I did there at the zoo, and
Yeah.
I have to find that tape. I'm pretty sure we filmed it, but
they're great. I love watching those. It's always exciting. It's you're great, Eddie. I don't want to blow up your balloon too much here publicly. But I love watching those. So if you want to see some Eddie on that, subscribe to the Patreon, and we'll throw those clips your way.
Yeah, and and subscribe to YouTube. So we've had a lot more subscriptions to YouTube.
Yes, yeah. We've had about we got a nice little bump this last week.
Got a nice little bump. You got a little itch there?
Oh, I got a little itch.
You look like my dog. My dog always scratches her side.
Yeah. No, I gotta. My wife gets so upset because I'll back into her. I go, "Can you scratch my back?"
Oh, that kind of thing.
She'll scratch, and then I have to move, because she won't move her hands to where I need them.
Oh, I know.
So then I gotta move my
know,
back to where her hands are, and then what do you do? And I'm like, harder, right over here.
Yeah.
She's a sweetie. She takes care of me.
That's
which is
good.
nice.
That's good. All right. Well, we have a great show coming up, everybody. You're listening to Apocalypse Soon with Eddie Pepitone and Kevin Tinkin. We are the podcast with no upside. We'll be right back.
And now an iteration of the perfume for the masses, Eau de Pepitone.
Hello. Have you ever wanted a perfume that gives you the smell of death? Pepitone. Do you want a perfume that says, "Help me, I'm incarcerated"? Pepitone. Do you want a perfume that smells like you've been murdered in a small bungalow near the ocean?
Pepitone.
Do you want a perfume that tunnels underneath a prison in the hope of finding a sewer pipe? Do you want a perfume that lives in a doctor's office where people scream in pain because the doctor is insane and nobody monitors him? Pepitone. Do you want a perfume that is only bottled by people with leprosy? Pepitone. Well, that perfume is here, and it's called Pepitone. It's called Pepitone. Pepitone, a Sicilian Jewish comedian from Brooklyn and then Staten Island, is putting out a new perfume that is only sold in stores that have a long history of abuse and health violations.
Exclusivity.
Pepitone only sold in said stores in the very back, next to food items that have gone bad.
Under lock and key.
Pepitone perfume is dabbed on liberally, especially effective if you have open wounds.
Don't cover them up.
Pepitone perfume is something that you can take on an airplane, and when you open it, the plane will dive right into the ground like a dart. Pepitone. Pepitone is a perfume that says the apocalypse is here.
Welcome.
Pepitone is the perfume that says a third of Pakistan is underwater.
Get your bathing suit.
Pepitone is the perfume that says the United States is going to be a fascist country before you can load your gun.
Heil.
So get Pepitone. A perfume that is wafting in the air, particularly near the oil refineries of Shreveport, Louisiana.
Pepitone. Pick up your Pepitone today. It's in the back. And now, ease your mind and relax your thoughts on Guided Meditation with Eddie Pepitone.
Oh boy. Hi everybody. Let's just roll our shoulders. Let's roll your shoulders just to start to get out all that accumulated anxiety, worry out of your shoulders. You know, anxiety and worry usually attacks your family first, but a lot of people will get anxiety attacking their shoulders. So roll your shoulders, roll them the way, you know, you ever see anyone roll logs where they're standing on a log in a competition and the logs are rolling and they're in water? Just roll your shoulders like that. Roll your shoulders. Let all that energy, let all that anxiety and worry, let it start to come out of you. All the worry about the fact that you will probably wind up in prison or a camp because of economics. You'll probably, the chances are, America has 25% of the world's prison. Roll that out of your shoulders that America has 25% of the world's prisoners and only 5% of the population. We live in an incarceration military-industrial complex, and just roll that out. Now, I hope you're in light fitting clothing because, you want your body to move. So hopefully some kind of clothing that is billowy. Hopefully your clothing is billowy, that it just, like if you have a fan on you, your clothes would look like a pageant. When people are in a pageant and their clothes are just going all over the place. That's the kind of billowing your outfit should have. And with your in-breath, I want you to imagine yourself being bludgeoned in an alley. Imagine yourself being bludgeoned by an itinerant worker who doesn't have any money and he needs money, and this is happening all over the world now. So I want you to imagine that you were planning on going on a picnic with your beautiful, beautiful significant other, but you ran into somebody in poverty, which happens all the time, and they're bludgeoning you. And breathe that in, just breathe that in, and with every blow to your head, your orientation is becoming more and more suspect. At first you think you live in Ecuador, and then you think you live in North Hollywood. First you think you're a photographer, and then you think you're a studio engineer. You know what I mean? With each blow from the fire, you're getting hit with a poker from a fireplace. This itinerant worker is friends with Michael Peterson, who probably killed his wife with a blowpoke. That's what they call these fire. If you've ever watched The Staircase. Anyway, now with your out breath, I want you to let it go that you were mugged viciously in an alley, and that you will be in a hospital. With your out breath, I want you to realize that you'll be in a hospital for at least several weeks with nurses who are underpaid and nurses and doctors who are overworked because our healthcare system is a disaster. And already over 1 million people have died. I think it's up to 1.1 million 1,300,000 people have died during COVID, which is not over. With your out-breath, realize that infectious diseases are increasing. Okay, realize that as you see a beautiful ball of golden light in front of you, that infectious diseases are in that ball of golden light. Polio, monkeypox, a new variant of COVID, and even more infectious diseases coming. Breathe that out, and now with your in-breath, I want you to breathe in the fact that you put all your money in cryptocurrency, and that market is completely tanking, and also somebody has just grabbed you and you're being held hostage in a frozen yogurt place. Those two thoughts at one time. I want you to breathe in that the crypto market has collapsed and all your money is in there. And when you found that out, you were thrust into a frozen yogurt hostage situation by a lunatic named Ned Stevens. Okay, breathe that. And now with your out breath, I want you to see yourself tied up by the vanilla frozen yogurt. See yourself tied up by the vanilla frozen yogurt, and the police have snipers on the roof, and one of their bullets just tore into your leg. One of the sniper bullets, because one of the snipers who's on the building opposite the yogurt place has an eye infection and he shouldn't be in work. But he didn't want to miss a day's pay, so he's a sniper with an eye infection. And he thought he had hit the hostage taker, the lunatic Ned Stevens, but he actually ripped into your leg. Breathe that all in. And now with your out breath, I want you to see the fact that the hostage situation is going very badly. But I want you to see another ball, this time of raspberry light, and inside that ball of raspberry light is a bookie, an old-time bookie who's taking bets on when the ecosystem will collapse. And he predicts in 5 years, as a matter of fact, Vegas now predicts the ecosystem will collapse in 3 to 5 years, and Vegas is usually pretty on the money. Breathe that in a raspberry ball of golden light is an old-fashioned bookie who's taking bets on when the ecosystem collapses. And now with your final out-breath, I just want you to see yourself being lowered into a grave. You're in a coffin and you're still alive. You're pounding on the top of the coffin. You're screaming, I'm alive, I'm alive. And the reason why the mourners can't hear you screaming is that there's an outdoor concert by a Led Zeppelin cover band that is happening right next to the funeral, right next to the cemetery. And they're doing a whole lot of love, if you know Zeppelin. They can't hear you screaming, and the dirt now is being thrown on top of you. And just as they get you covered with the dirt, the concert ends.
And thanks for joining us for another guided meditation with Eddie Pepitone. And now, welcome to another episode of What is a Squirrel Thinking?
Oh, this nut is good. Oh, man. I love the guy who throws me these nuts in this park. Oh, my God. I don't know who that guy is, but, man, he gets good nuts. Well, the asshole woman who throws me fucking pieces of bread. That sucks. But this is not these guys. I don't know where this fucking guy shops, but man, it's so fucking good. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, great kids. They better not run at me. I'll fuck a dog. All right, let me run up this fucking tree, you fuck. Go fucking away. Woo, woo, woo. Yeah, fuck you too. I'm just having a nut, you fucking prick. Fucking dogs. I hate eating up here. Oh. Here comes my favorite squirrel, Ann. Hi, Ann. Hi, Rocky. Did that guy come with the good nuts? Yeah. Could I have one? Will you blow me? All right, come here. Thank you. Boy, you come quick, Rocky. Here's a nut. Oh, these nuts are good. Give me a hand job. Thank you. Boy, you come quick. I guess you're off those antidepressants, huh? Yep. Boy, these are good nuts. Sure is. Are you hear the weather tomorrow? What? It's supposed to rain. Oh, God, we better eat nuts. We're not going to be able to get food tomorrow. All the asshole humans are going to be indoors. I know. Fucking cowards. By the way, I found out what they call people that are out here all the time. What do they call them? Unhoused. Boy, these are good nuts. Can I have another one? Stick a finger in my ass. Oh, thank you. Here's a nut. Ooh, these are good nuts. You're a whore, you know that?
And thanks for joining us for another episode of What is a Squirrel Thinking?
Hey everybody, that's our show. I hope you enjoyed it. We had a lot of fun being silly yet extremely dark, which is how you should be during the apocalypse. We're all getting swept away in an ocean, a literal ocean of catastrophe and calamity, and enjoy it as much as you can. And thank you for listening. Remember, Apocalypse Soon, the podcast with no upside. Kev, did you have a good time?
I had a blast. I always have a good time. We're in an air-conditioned room. You know, we're feeling good.
When we're not outdoors.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. I prefer to record closer to midnight. But this
true.
This is nice. But yeah, go subscribe to the YouTube. Make sure to leave us a review on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you want more Pepitone, go to the Patreon. We got Bread and Circus. We get you some stand-up clips and some video of this podcast will be released the day it comes out on the Patreon and a week later on our YouTube channel.
Awesome. And also go to eddiepepitone.com. All my tour dates are on there. I'm going to be touring around a city near you. And thank you for listening, everybody. We'll see you next time on Apocalypse Soon.